Blessings to Manica, White Priestess here, and I wanted to do a July check-in, basically, I guess favorite slash check-in video. For those of you that don't know, I went on a vacation for like 3 weeks, and I went back to work exactly 14 days ago. And I started doing readings 2 weeks ago, and so I wasn't doing anything really spiritual when I did my last check-in, so I had nothing to like report. However, that has changed. But before I start with the spiritual goodies like oracle decks and tarot decks and all that fun stuff, I kind of wanted to actually show you guys, because a lot of you guys have been complimenting my appearance and things like that. And so a little disclaimer here: all bodies are beautiful. I am very body positive type of person, so I don't want to come off as fat phobic. I always want to, again, have a channel that's a safe space. However, I personally was having health issues, and my health issues were related to my weight. And so I have been on this health journey, basically taking back my health. And because I was getting out of breath, I was getting a lot of asthma, migraines, just a lot of things, and certain foods were triggering this. I tried to do this last year and it just did not work for me in 2020. And then as of March of 2021, I had this whole spiritual awakening and went on this really deep, sometimes very painful, very raw journey to self-discovery, like rediscovering myself and giving myself self-love. So I wanted to share with you guys my favorite foods, because my diet has changed a lot. So I have, for the most part, cut out anywhere from 70 to 80% of my sugar intake. There are no bad foods, and instead of doing a written food journal, which I started to fall back into bad habits and unhealthy eating and things like that. So there were some struggles during the vacation that I had. And I realized, because I have such a hectic life, that it would be easier if I could jot these things down in like electronical. So I have an Android, so there are little apps you can, if you go to Google Play. And so I downloaded one of those apps, and if you're interested to know which app, just comment in the comment section and I'll tell you what it is. And it literally, you just write the food that you eat and it does all the stuff for you. It does all the math for you. So it's way easier than actually keeping a food journal when it's written. So this is just easier for my lifestyle. So that's been really helpful. It's helped me to keep track. I really don't have a set goal of weight at this time, but for those that are interested in this health journey, I have lost, since I started in late March, so approximately 4 months ago, I have lost a total of 48 pounds. And that's I'm so surprised, because for the first time in my life, I didn't do it with crash dieting. I didn't do it with starvation. I didn't do it with none of that, because I kind of struggle with completely restrictive eating or binging. And so it has made my weight fluctuate a lot. It has messed up my metabolism and all these things. So it has been really beautiful to see my body kind of go into like, to be healthy again, to see my levels going down, to see, you know, my sugar was a little high before I went on this journey, and that scares me. I wasn't pre-diabetic yet, but I felt like if I kept going in the course that I was going, I was going to develop diabetes and other things. And so this is why I've gone on this journey. So without further ado, these are my favorites of the month, and pretty much favorites most of the time when it comes to food. So I'm going to do food first. So remember, I told you guys that I have like 70 to 80% of my sugar intake has been decreased. One of the highest, like, because I'm kind of doing things in moderation. So yes, counting calories, but in a healthy way. I have a dietitian that looks over everything, so we're good here. I've switched to stevia, And I had to kind of adjust my taste buds because anybody that knows me, I love very sweet, very pale coffee in the past. And I had to kind of learn to adjust to the taste of coffee, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat. I'm good now because it's been like 4 months. So I switched to stevia. And what I like about stevia is when I try to switch over to other sweeteners like Equal and all that stuff, it just has a really nasty aftertaste. Like it's nasty. That's why I've never been able to drink like diet soda, and just, no offense, not my thing. This doesn't leave as much of an aftertaste, but this is not by any means sugar, but it's sweet enough. It has 0 carbs and 0 calories, so I love that. But even with that, I still like to not take too much stevia either, right? I try not to have too much sweetener. Also, so this is like whenever I want teas and things like that, or coffee. Also, a big thing that I had to stop using that was helping me too on this weight loss journey was basically, oh, okay, my TV did that. It scared me. Was cut out the creamer. Those like really nice liquid creamers, like you just keep pouring, and there's so much like carbs and calories and all that, right? And so I switched to, and I'm also lactose intolerant. I realized that's what was having so much indigestion and pains. Like, it was becoming debilitating. So through this whole health journey, I discovered that I'm lactose intolerant. So I got Lactate. Lactate made lactose-free milk, and I switched to skim, so fat-free milk. And I put this in my coffee, and I do take to account, like I started looking at labels, like what's actually going into my body. And even with this, be careful because you don't want to put too much milk. So if I'm having like 3 cups of coffee, my rule is half a cup of milk, 2 cups of coffee, a 4th cup of milk, that kind of thing, like 3 to 4 cups. Like, so I have my little formula down, 2 cups of coffee, 1 packet of sugar, or 2 sugars if I'm having like a bigger cup of coffee. Another thing that I also have let go is soda. Okay, so stevia makes soda products. Not all the flavors are good, so I had to play around with the flavors. And the only one that I really liked, to be honest, is this one, because I love cherry Coke. So I drink Zevia, and it has 0 calories. It really does. It has no carbs. Like, everything is 0. So when I'm drinking dinner, when I'm eating dinner or whatever, I treat myself to Zevia. Okay, and again, I only drink one a day. No more than 4 packets of the stevia sweetener, and I have no more than a cup to half a cup of this a day with my coffee, because I'll have coffee in the mornings when I'm doing my morning sessions right before work, and then in the evenings, kind of to give me that little boost of energy and that kind of thing. And then last but not least, I cut out beef this month. I've been cutting out beef for since June. So and every time when I eat hamburger in the summer, instead of ground beef, I'm eating ground chicken and ground turkey. And I'm also buying like the frozen patties. So Jenny-O is a good brand. I'm not gonna take it out because pretty much I have like 1 meat left and all that. But buns were also something that, like, very high caloric, sugar, all that. So I switched to this one. A whole, like, the 2 buns is just 140 calories, which I love. So it has like half the calories of regular buns. It's whole wheat. It actually tastes good. I like it. And I still have, like, ketchup in moderation. So, and then if I do have fries with my hamburger, I just make sure that it's a serving. That's another thing. I had to realize what an actual serving is. So, and yeah, so it's been really awesome. Just watching, my blood levels, me being able to walk again, like, without losing my breath, go upstairs. My asthma has been amazing. It's been like months since I've had an asthma attack. I still get migraines occasionally, but it wasn't to the point where I was getting it all the time and headaches. It's nice to have energy. And I saw a lot of people like, oh, are you dating? Are you in love? What's going on? You're glowing. It's not that. It's my body's finally healing, and just having my ED under control. And you know, I've been through some stuff, and just knowing that the one thing I can control is myself, how I love myself and how I treat myself. So that's basically it for the food portion of this video, and hopefully it didn't trigger anybody, but these are just the basic things that I've done. And I have my own, everybody's caloric need, that's why I'm not saying how much calories I eat, are going to be different depending on your BMI, depending on your health. So always seek the advisement of doctors. I have a doctor and a dietitian who is literally watching over my diet, making sure that I don't stumble back into unhealthy behaviors, guys, okay? And another tip is please don't get obsessed with the scale. I used to be someone, when I was really bad in my ED, just weighing myself a bunch of times a day and just doing all these things. I literally hide the scale from myself, and my rule is maybe I'll weigh myself once a week, and if it's once a week, it's the same time, same day, or sometimes even every 2 weeks. And I've gone even sometimes almost a month without weighing myself. I noticed the difference in my clothes. I did weigh myself this morning because I was going to make this video. So I was like, oh, 48 pounds. Because I started to notice in one of my community photos, or like the pictures you put on the community, I had a white dress, like when I was doing ancestor veneration. That dress is actually a skirt that I just pulled up, and it looks like a really pretty sleeveless dress, but it's actually a skirt. So 4 months ago, the dress that fit me all the way down to my ankles was actually a skirt that fit me kind of snug. So that's why I was like, wow. So it's just amazing. So anyways, that is the food portion and my favorite foods of July. As far as incense for the month of July, or basically the last 2 weeks, that I've been starting to use again for my spiritual practice, I'm always using this. Everybody knows I am a Blessed House International lover of this homemade incense, handmade incense, 100% natural. It's frankincense and myrrh. To me, the scent is out of sight. Like, I love it. It's my favorite frankincense and myrrh. I really don't like buying any other brand. This is it. Like, if I could have one incense that I'll use forever, this is it, and it'll be all for me. So it will always be in my favorites. For years, I've been using this incense for almost as long as I've been self-employed, okay? This one's a newie, and I got this from Spencer's. I love the scent of this one. I have two, but this is the one I've been using the last 2 weeks, really channeling that energy of the death card and all of that, talking to the ancestors. So I like lighting this once a day just to start my day, my work day, and all that beautiful stuff, and yeah, pray, and yeah, so love it. That has been like my top incense. Okay, now when it comes to so I'm not going to share with you guys what workings I've been doing with my clients. That's private. But I'm going to share with you the incense I've been using on myself a lot for like workings and stuff that I'm doing for myself. I've been using a lot of Palo Santo. So basically to bless things, to clear energies of new items that I have added to my practice. I also use this a lot when I'm charging my decks. So I will occasionally charge my decks every couple of weeks, things like that, when I feel like it has retained a lot of energies from others. So I will use this to clear and bring in and all that beautiful stuff. So anytime to bless my spiritual tools, I use this incense. And sometimes to close up space, you know, kind of thank you, spirits, for coming into these psychic reading sessions or spiritual investigation or whatever spiritual work I'm doing. I have been using this in the last 2 weeks as well. Literally, this one's empty, so I used all of it up in the last 2 weeks. I have to get a new one. I bought it by the bulk, so I'm just gonna switch it out, but I wanted to show you guys. And also been doing a lot of good health, so not just physical good health, but like mental well-being and all this stuff. So this is part of my self-love. And I've been really loving giving this as an offertory to several of my spirits. I got this incense blend as a gift from one of my clients after doing a workings for her and her loving her results and everything, amongst other stuff, other gifts and everything. It's coconut mango, so I love giving this to my African traditional religious spirits. So several of my Orishas and Loas have received this when I'm opening up any type of ritual for them. And just, you know, a lot of the spirits love scent, so these have been my go-tos in my personal practice. So that's as far as incense. And then another scent I've been obsessed with is cocoa or coconut incense, as offertory, but also good for just doing head work for myself and healing and all of that. And I have loved using coconut oil on my hoodoo lamps for myself, and as well as anointing myself with it, so on and so forth. So I have really loved using those tools in July. And then as far as for myself again, I pretty much have to replace this Florida water. As you can see, I've been doing a lot of cleansing on myself. Even when I was on vacation, I did take Florida water with me. I always take my Florida water soap. You can take a spiritual bath with Florida water soap in a hotel. So okay. But yeah, it's pretty much done. Also, as you can see, cinnamon has been a thing. I love all things cinnamon, so I pretty much finished off this as well. Just really good for attraction, protection, all the stuff. And rose water I use heavily in my practice, and as you can see, I used heavily this month as well. So these are my empties. I lit a bunch of candles for myself, so that's been awesome. And then we're gonna move on to decks. So decks for my personal self. Conjure cards, been loving these the last 2 weeks. Just amazing readings with it. It is a great one. These are the backs, and this is a really great deck. I love the little guidebook that it comes with. I love this deck very much. The person who wrote the guidebook, which gets right to the point, also has made to read it reversible or upright. I find the meanings to be right on, so I love this one. I journal with this deck and everything, and I have been inspired to do 3-card pulls with this one for like a weekly message so far. These last 2 weeks, like I said, I really read for myself, but when I do want to read for myself, there's just certain decks I'm called to, and this is one of them. So I have some things that I'm working on, so it's good for goal setting. It's very honest, so I love it. And this deck came to me twice. I got it from a good friend here on YouTube, and a client also bought me the same deck. Okay, so basically I am meant to work with this deck, and that's what I've been doing. I completely love it. Have been working with it for the last 2 weeks. Might even work with it again in August. It is gorgeousness. It's not just because of the artwork, to be honest. It just reads really well for me, and I love journaling with it and everything. So it is a beautiful, wonderful deck that I completely love, and it's really interesting because I'm really not into modern decks at all, and everything like that, but this deck just speaks to me, so I love it. And I look forward to seeing what ways I'm going to work with it in the future. And I usually don't like popular decks, and this is like a more popular deck, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I love it. So it's really great. So, and that's the Light Seers. I'm going to show you guys the cover. The Light Seers Tarot. So that has been a beautiful deck that I've been working with these last 2 weeks. I even worked with it before I went on vacation last month. So, and then this one recently I've been drawn to work with. I was working with it with clients, but not drawn lately to work with it again, like with them. I've been just using the Psychic Oracle if I'm going to use the Oracle deck for anything. But this one I've just been really drawn to work with for myself. I'll pull like a card a week and use it for goal setting, or maybe energies I need to work on, pretty much like a spiritual checkup kind of thing, and base any type of workings for myself with this, of course, always with the guidance of the spirits. And then as far as tarot goes, well, actually, let's go into Oracle, my most used Oracle outside of that one for myself. This is the one I've been drawn to work with clients, and this is the Psychic Oracle of the Heart, is this one that I just pulled out, and this is the Psychic Oracle. It's been around for a long time. It was actually my first like tarot deck. besides the Robin Hoods. I've talked about that already, and the Hanson Roberts and all that. And playing cards always before everything else. But yes, so we go back 8 years, okay? It's the first deck I ever purchased when I went into professional reading, so it's pretty cool. And then so that one, and then as far as tarot, I've been working a lot with this deck for my professional readings, and this is the Herbal Tarot, and I love it. I got rid of my Herb Crafters Tarot when I got this one, because this is what I thought was going to happen with the Herb Crafters Tarot, but I ended up connecting with this one more, and so I really love it. It's a great healing deck for me, and I could do all kinds of reading with this one, but I'm just saying, like, when I need like spiritual guidance or to contact the ancestors or whatever, I tend to pull this one. So yeah, I love it. So I love the back of it, so cute. Yeah. So yes, and that's the Herb Crafters Tarot. And then last but not least, as far as tarot decks go, I've been really drawn to work with the Rider-Waite-Smith, the Centennial Borderless. Okay, I did work with it in June and a little bit when I came back from vacay. And there's another deck that I've also worked with as well for professional readings. Let me put this back. Okay. Yes. I am Rider-Waite obsessed. I have the little Empress. So cute. Okay. I put it back in its wooden home. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna grab. So I'm giving this deck a little bit of a break because I used the heck out of it in June and July and all of that. So look at it. This deck is one of my most favorite decks. At the back, this is the Trip and Wait, not to be confused for the Groovy Wait. I love this deck. Okay, I love it. It is gorgeous, and I'm just so drawn to it in the summer. Like, this just feels like summery to me. I love the deck so much. It does have some racial diversity, so I love that as well. And the pictures are so clean, and the colors are so they're just beautiful, guys. Like, these are some beautiful cards. They're a little pricey, but I love them. I mean, they're custom made, so I love these decks so much. And this is from Tarot Collectibles. And I keep it in this beautiful green pouch. And like I said, it has great cards. Like, it's just the way that I use my decks and everything. Like, my decks, they get a beating because I use them a lot. So basically, these have been my favorite decks of the last 2 weeks of July. I will be switching. I already put this one away and put it back in order, and I'm going to put the Centennial Borderless in order as well, because I am going to be switching to my August deck that I'm going to be working for in the month of August and everything like that. So, but that is basically it. Oh, wait, one honorable mention. Another deck oracle that I've been using a lot with clients is this one. Is the Prism Oracle. And I love it. It has like really cool. I've been using this one as well, if I am going to use like oracle and stuff like that. So I love it. I love the colors, and the messages are very simple, but it just really enhances my psychic abilities, and I just read very well with these. So I'm not saying you might not like them, or they might not work. Reading and divination tools are subjective. Some people connect with them and some people don't. So I always say go with your intuition. But Everything is different for everybody, but I've actually really enjoyed that oracle deck. Okay, now I am done. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and until the next video, much love, much light, much blessings. I actually have someone who did a VR to their 13 most sacred herbs. That is on my watch later. So sis, queen, I am coming. I'm going to be watching that over the weekend. I cannot wait to see what are your favorite 13 herbs, and I know she watches my channel, so know that I will be watching. If any other people have done a VR to their 13 most favorite herbs, let me know, because I will watch your videos. Okay, much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and until the next video, bye.